Hi gang, welcome to another chapter of Surviving the Zombie Apocalypse. I was informed that in my rock spinning video that using string is technically cheating. Okay, fair enough. I'll buy that. So let's take our string off our rock. Say bye-bye to our string that we carefully salvaged. I'm just kidding. This is just if you can't find string, what you can do. So here's my ever-present Leatherman tool. Every survivalist's most precious thing. I'm going to cut that string off that rock. Do you know how long it took me to get this string on this rock? It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Oh, you should see who's right here. There's a Bobo sighting. There he is. There he is. Kitty cameo. Doesn't he look impressed? He's just like, let me go. I don't want to be doing... Oh, nobody gives a snotty look like Bobo. All right. So what we're going to do is I have here one of my sticks from my pin loom, which I'll link to the Zombie Apocalypse playlist. The pin loom is in there. Basically, I've just split the end of a stick. Okay? Then we have here our, why can I never remember the name of this fleece? Clun Forest. So this is a fleece that we just washed in cold water. So it still has lanolin in it. And as you can see, there's a fair amount of veggie matter in here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to try cleaning this up. So find yourself a nice size stick, put a little slot in the end of it. I'm going to put this on time lapse while I work at getting some of this debris out of this fleece and sort of working it into a roving. And from that, we are going to spin our leader so that when we rock spin, we're not cheating by using string. All right, so I just picked open a handful of fleece so you can see how much debris fell out. Now, is it perfectly clean? No. This is the bits that I would probably put to the side to be woven into a bedroll. And this is the part I'm going to spin. Now, there are still a few bigger flecks of veggie matter, but I can probably just pick those out as I come to them, as I sit here and pick them out now, because, you know, I'm one of those people who likes it to be perfectly clean, but it's not necessary. And again, here I go, picking out some more veggie matter bits, because, you know, I just can't seem to stop myself. All right, so this has lanolin in it. It's been washed in cold water, but you can see how clean that fleece actually is. We are going to take our stick from our pin loom and we're going to pull off, actually, you know what, let's pull this into a roving right now. So we've got it all nicely opened up and fluffy somewhat. I'm just gonna pull it open a little more. So put that in your hand and we're going to use our thumb and fingers, or a side of our hand, I guess, as our diz. So what we're going to do is we're just going to gently, now don't hold this tightly, just hold it back firm enough. I usually use my thumb to just do a pinch to pull, to draft it out into a rough roving. This is not going to be perfection or beautiful, but we are not going for that. This is the zombie apocalypse. We need fast, dirty, and effective. So we're just going to keep kind of drafting out our locks a bit. And we're just making ourselves a rough roving. See? We're making a roving. It's not top. It's not all going the same way. It's just roving. Just fibers going every which way, drafted out into a length of fiber that we can spin from. Okay, that's good enough. So we're going to put all that into one hand, and we're going to take our stick. We're going to start with just a little floof of fibers. Can you see that floof of fibers? And we're just going to spin it. So we're just going to make just a little teeny bit of singles, and then lay that on your stick, hold it with your thumb, and bring it through that little slot and snug it up. So now you can use your stick to spin. So if you go off the end of your stick, when you twist it, that'll add twist to your fiber. Now you can roll it down your leg to make it go a little faster. Or you can just sit and fiddle. If you have hyperactive kids who need to fidget, they can be doing this. And you can make all your yarn this way if you prefer. Just kick back and start twisting. Then, as you get a length on, I wonder if this stick will spin. Probably not. No, not much. But theoretically, if you put a weight on the bottom of this stick, which is another method we're going to explore. All right, and we're just going to wind that on. Put it back in the little slots on the end. See? Draft out our next bit. Keep adding twists. Just make sure you're always spinning your stick in the same direction. I'm spinning away from me. So that would technically be clockwise or Z. To figure out if you're going clockwise or counterclockwise, look on the base and see which way your stick is spinning. Draft out a little bit more. Okay, so I think we have enough twist in that, so pull it out of your little slot, wrap it around your stick, put it back through your little slot, and spin your next bit. Now you can also sit here with a short length of fiber and just keep adding twist to it and keep adding twist to it. Just don't snap your fiber. All right, so you can see how over twisted that is. So then you just draft out your fibers and then let that twist run up into it. Draft out some fibers, we'll let that twist run up into it. Then add a little bit of extra twist. See how it looks? It's pretty good. So we're going to pull it out of that slot at the end of the stick and wrap it around our stick and make a little cup. And then come back up and go through your slot. So I'm going to take, all right, so we have it drifted apart. So what I'm going to do is take hold of that little piece there, and I'm going to keep the end fluffy, but I'm going to add a whole bunch of twist. I'm going to keep it pinched so it can't run into my fluffy bit at the end. Take my other fluffy bit, overlap them, draft them a little bit, and then I'm going to let that twist in and see how well it worked. Well, not great, but it at least got it started. So now I can add some more twist and we'll let it in. There we go. Draft out a bit more. So it's slow, but it's doable. Now we are going to want to ply this. So this is where knowing how to do an Andean plying bracelet would definitely come in handy. This ring has always worked beautifully for me because I can just hook my yarn around there to hold at the end. And then we're going to go around the back of the hand. So around the back, come up through the palm, around that middle finger, and back around the back of the hand. We're going to come around the front, over that middle finger, and around the back of the hand. Now I only have a very little bit of singles here, so it didn't take me long to do that. And then we just tie the ends together so you don't lose those ends. It's not as important here because we have like one wrap, but if you have like 20 wraps around your hand, you do not want to lose that end. So then we take our slotted stick, put that there. You pull this off your middle finger and it'll make you a bracelet. So we twisted, I put it on the wrong hand. We twisted away from us when we were doing our singles, so we want to twist towards us for doing the plying. So we are going to spin this way, which when I switch hands is now going to become away from us, but is technically still the right direction. And I'm going to just use this short bit and just put lots of twist in there. Putting lots and lots and lots and lots of twist in there, but I'm keeping it pinched here so it can't travel up the fiber. And you can again roll it up your thigh. Now I have a ton of twist in there. You can see, watch, spring. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pinch there to keep the twist from traveling. So I pull my hand out of that loop and then pinch here, and I'm going to let that twist travel so I can see how much twist I have in my overall plied, which is really good. So now I can, oh my goodness, there is a chipmunk right there. Oh, he got away before Latte got him. I can't believe he just did that. What a stupid chipmunk. And my stupid cats didn't even see it. All right, so now I'm just gonna Sorry, I'm still freaking out. I don't know if that got caught on camera, but he literally just climbed up on my leg and looked at me. All right, so I'm going to continue adding twist until this length is over twisted. And then I will pinch here and I pull my hand out of the loop and let the twist in. So this is the full length of my leader for the moment. Now, when I let it go, the ply back is actually pretty decent and it's pretty strong. So there we go. Now we've spun a leader for our rock. Now, I'm going to show you a cheater thing that I thought of. Here's our rock. You can see how we're going to have to spin a lot more yarn to be able to wrap our rock and make a leader. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we have enough here. There we go. So now we have our hand spun leader on our rock. Now, you're going to want to be careful on which way you twist it, because you're going to take the twist out. Yeah, see, we're going to need more because we'll need to go around that rock a few more times. But you'll want to be aware of whether you're adding or taking away twist from this leader to start with. So we are adding twist, and it fell out of the rock. So let me get the one more thing I was thinking of that if you can find it in the post-apocalyptic world would save you some time. 1 second. All right, zombie apocalypse, scavenging is a thing. Say you find a hardware store that's not completely cleaned out, and you find some zip ties. We're going to take our rock and I'm going to try and zip tie this. So if I put one here and one here. Okay, that one's not long enough, so we're going to add another one to it. And we're going to go around our rock here. Here we go. You know, we probably only needed the top one. It seems to be holding pretty good. All right, so let's just work with this one. We're going to grab our Leatherman tool. And in here, there's a bit of a bite that you can use to trim off your cable ties, in theory. There we go. Holy, these are strong cable ties. Okay, so we're gonna pull out our blade. And snip off the ends of these cable ties so they're not sticking out, getting in the way too much. There we go. All right, I'm just going to cut this one off because I don't think we need it, and it's just going to get in the way. Oh, there we go, popped it right off. So what we're going to do then is take this leader that we spun, that's unspinning as we speak, and we're going to tie this. Actually, we don't even need to tie it. We can just slip it through our cable tie. So now we have a double loop, and we can just spin like that. Look how beautifully that works. So try and get some cable ties. Scavenge some. Make your life easier. Because ultimately it is all about doing things with the least amount of effort to survive, because of course you have to conserve energy. So now we can just tie on our fiber and spin with our rock. And we can make a nice yarn for our warp, for our adaptive pin loom that I'm going to make for the next one as I refine my processes. You can see that using this zip tie to hold the rock is definitely improving my spinning. And having cleaned out the fiber a bit has helped a lot too. So here is our new single after picking it out clean and spinning it up nice and fine, as opposed to, well, we're still attached to our pin loom, but this was our first single spun, and this is our second. Well, this is plied, sorry, but you can see the difference even in the single, how much nicer it's turning out, and how with just one experience with spinning with a rock, I've been able to improve my yarn by so much. So with continued use, things are only going to continue to improve, and your rock spinning is going to become a thing of beauty. I lost my stick. I wonder if we could use it. We could just go like this, tuck this under there, and then we could use our tail of our, I just used the tail of the cable tie as a hook to pull that fiber underneath the cable tie on the rock, so I could continue spinning without the use of a stick. Well, look at that. And I'm making, like, I can't believe that this fine single is holding up the weight of that rock. Like, you can seriously make some really good yarn with a rock. I'm so excited about this. Alright, so let's pull this up. And there we go. More singles to wrap onto our rock. Now, I can see the problem being at the end, because we've gone under that cable tie. Let's see what happens. There's where I went under the cable tie, and it has become... Alright, so maybe that's not the brightest idea. We should still have a stick. But regardless, we've got some very nice singles here. Just going to pull this down, pop it through. Trying not to lose too much twist as I muck about here. Alright, so now I'm going to chain ply this. And yes, you can chain ply. Just do this. And spin this way. Oops. And then chain ply. And chain ply. Until we run out of twist. Then we give it another zip. And now we have a lovely three-ply yarn that you just watched me spin on a rock. Like, look how much that's improved over that spin there. There's less debris in it. It's a little more consistent. It's a strong yarn. I'm trying to get my ring out because it keeps focusing on my ring. And it just makes for a cool trick to show your friends. Look, I can make yarn with a rock. And you can. There it is. So there you have it. We spun our leader. We didn't cheat and use string. Although it's not really cheating to scavenge. But that was literally spun with a stick. And then after we did this, we made this with a rock. I'm really enjoying doing this post-apocalyptic life skills challenge thing. I'm finding out all sorts of things that it's probably better to know now than the zombie apocalypse. Things such as zip ties are just some of the handiest things in the world. So if you have a post-apocalyptic stash in with your post-apocalyptic supplies, make sure you have zip ties. They have so many uses, including helping you to spin yarn on a rock. Hey, it works. So if you like this, do the stuff down below, because I do stuff like this all the time, and you're really going to want to know the next zombie apocalypse life skill that you're going to need so that you can prove your worth with your fiber arts. Not that you should have to, but you know, if you're not good at actually killing zombies, having a way to contribute to the group would be good. And I think this is a really good skill to have. So thanks for joining me, guys, and I will see you on the next video, which I have no idea what we'll be trying next. We'll find out when we get there. Thanks, guys. Bye.